Throwing it back over to Hollywood here, and of course it's set outside the iconic and not ironic at all Goldshire Studios. It's going to be NRG by the looks of things here. If the name's in red, they might be on the attacking side. Yes, that's correct. It's a good inference, and now I have proof to back it up. So Seagull on the Hanzo here as well. God's on the Roadhog to come in.
And we see on the side of Snake, actually, Keegan to be going for the Mei. And Mengmao on the Reaper. So I kind of want to fight up close and personal. The problem is, Mengmao's going to have such a tough time on Reaper when Seagull can get so much information for his team. And I don't even... Okay, I do see him on the screen. He's on towards the far side. He's over towards the left, which I don't think you're going to Sonic Arrow that side. So you actually might have an opportunity to pick up a kill. But you have to be so careful, because if you get hooked in like that, you will on your teammate. That could be the death of him.
The shield, though, towards Punga as well, not only protects him, gives Snake a good amount of charge. He's fully charged up here on that particle cannon. This is going to hurt. Now, Mengmao gets in towards the backside here. Punga going to fall down first, and there's Enigma picks off Snake. So that Hanzo already coming into effect. It was 700 to fall down. So normally a bit of a flex DPS player, but that roll now with Mengmao in this particular case. Milo coming forward here as well. You can hear the nano booster already coming out. It was charged so early on here. The NRG just bustled away on towards the point and taking it for themselves very early.
Getting a very quick hold here, and even Seagull taking down Mengmao as he's just trying to come in the last second. So first attack successful. It took a little bit of time because they were going very slow about it, but they got it nonetheless. And now Snake, I don't think they're even having an opportunity to contest in this corner because NRG not losing a single man as they pushed in will be able to shove them back. So this will force Snake to either go onto the high ground or continue to fight on the ground, which I don't think is necessarily where you want to be when the Graviton Surge, Dragon Strike combo is about to be available.
There's also this comp for them as well. I mean, maybe a Mei is something you can put up high, Zenyatta possibly, but Snake probably have to commit to sort of playing the low ground here. They can use Mengmao to harass. He switched over towards the Winston away.
That's good, that's good. So this is what we wanted to see before, right? Jump on top of the Hanzo with a Winston and then pressure him. The problem is, if there's any high ground involved, Seagull can just climb up the wall and get away from you if you're Winston. So you have to be very careful where you choose to attack, and jump onto the back line like this can be perfect.
Yeah, he's going to go from here. Seagull has to back away, but going low, and that's just what the Doctor ordered. He won't have enough damage to deal with Mengmao, and that's perfect. Off the back of the Graviton Surge, we can see Snake stabilize here. Punga even getting involved in that fight, and 700 just with the extra damage and the initial Graviton off the back. But NRG don't use any of their ults there as well, so they draw a little bit out of Snake here, and they've got a decent Wombo to come back in with themselves. They've got 6 ults.
But Snake adapting where Vici didn't, not switching over to Winston to jump into the backline. They let the Seagull play Hanzo pretty much the entirety of their attacking phase. But like you said, they have 6 ultimates up. One Graviton Surge could spell disaster for Snake. They have to be so careful to back away. And there it is. The combo comes through. What Maywall's going to do absolutely nothing to this. And they're going to take on 1 kill finally.
Yeah, so we did see the Transcendence in that fight. There was healing available, and the sound barrier was being used there. So, yeah, I mean, it was just a matter of burning through those defensive ultimates now. But Seagull left to his own devices, still being threatened a little bit by Mengmao, but it was more than just Seagull to deal with the Winston diving in. He was overextended.
And the sound barrier out of Pooks actually gave Seagull a lot of HP. So you can afford to fight him head-to-toe, or toe-to-toe. Head-to-toe doesn't make sense. Head-to-toe to fight him in his face. But NRG's going to tune this presence. Again, they're going to have a lot of information from Seagull with the Sonic Arrow being thrown in. And they know exactly the route they're coming through. So this 3-tank setup is working for Snake for a little bit. The problem is they don't have an Ana, which could be so impactful when you can throw a Winston in, or even your Reinhardt. Yeah, your Reinhardt.
Triple tank, no Ana's interesting here. It's not the first time we've seen this. If Fate wants to play the Zenyatta instead of the Ana. We don't really know if we can say that this is a failing of theirs yet. I'm not really sure. But and there's Fate. He picks up Gods there as well. He's a very, very good Zenyatta. We saw multiple kills coming from him. Dragon Strike comes through here. 700 avoids the bulk of the damage and goes around the side.
Escape?
But Punga still forced that one now as well. Transcendence over the top. 700 goes into pressure. Earthshatter comes down. It's going to be Milo frozen stiff. Seagull gets caught up with this one here as well. This could be nasty for NRG as Fate again gets himself another kill over the back, but the Biotic Grenade keeping NRG just on their feet, but not for much longer.
Seagull had about 10 HP, and yet he still survived with the Biotic Grenade and the healing out of Dummy there. So this is maybe a little bit of a misstep out of Snake, but now NRG switching things up, getting rid of the Roadhog, put him over to a Reaper. All right, so they have Seagull switching from the Hanzo to Mei, Gods from the Roadhog over to Reaper to deal with kind of the upfront. The up close and personal fighting, which done with the nano boost available, and Enigma with Graviton Surge can easily force a fight here that I don't think Snake can really contest without any ultimates.
And of course, lack of Ana is always a bit
Forget
of an
the elevator.
fact.
Let's use Mei.
That's good. I mean, you want high ground, right? This is the best way to do it. That's kind of... We're going to work on that one.
Yeah,
we'll get it by the end of it. That was a sleep dart. That was connecting on towards the Reinhardt there as well. I think it was Punga putting the sleep there. Nicely done. Graviton comes in here, but NRG lacking a bit of follow-up there. There is, of course, going to be a nano boost. Is that a Reaper in there? It's going to be Gods getting himself too. Seagull with a wall off in towards the jail. This is going to isolate Punga now as well. And, well, NRG can just collapse on him. Not enough follow-up at all towards that Earthshatter there. A little bit used cheaply by Punga. I'm not sure what point in bringing that ult there was.
Yeah, I mean, if he hit the entire team, it could have been a decent amount. The problem is, you can see where the respawns in of his team are, and they're just nowhere near to really help out. And Energy more than happy to continue to push through. A great wall from Seagull actually blocks them off so they can't escape this one. Blizzard's available. Gauss picks up another kill, and Snake, they're just being walked over. They're being forced to slither their way back into their own spawn.
And that's why I like the pickup of the wall, or the main here as well, for the wall, because as well on the Wild West stage, but also here, you can isolate that single player normally in a pinch, right? Sometimes you can't block them completely from getting back to their team, but you can sort of delay them long enough that you can pick them off while they're in clear sight. Gods is in the perfect position for this as well.
Oh,
Dummy
he's there.
will very soon have his nano boost available, so it may not matter if they know that he's going to be here. It's going to have to be Fate popping that Transcendence very quickly.
And this is a response. Actually going to push through with the speed boost out of Lucio just to make sure God's ineffective here. The problem is he's going to fall down immediately. The Blizzard's going to come in and freeze up quite a few people. Seagull gets himself a double kill, looking for a triple as Milo's being pressured in the back.
Yeah, Enigma going to be helping out Seagull there as well. Between them, they get 4. Milo, yeah, I mean, he's going down, but he's just the bait. It's all a bit of a ruse here. Snake committing so many resources to killing a Reinhardt, or they get completely crunched between the combo of Enigma and Seagull, and Energy just pushing straight on through here. Desperation needs to be a factor for Snake now to stop this payload. Trying
to wall him off towards the right side. They have an Earth Shatter. They have, as well as a Nano Boost. They're going to be using it momentarily. They wait for the Transcendence to actually finish off as the Earth Shatter does hit, but Seagull's not able to burst anyone down. Just trying to build some overset, but God's going to be there. Popping the blend on top of the ground with the Surge. Only picks up 1, but they've done the damage.
Yeah, Fate, of course, had that Transcendence earlier on in the fight there. Not a lot coming away from the Reaper Copter here at 700, just trying to keep that one contested, keeping himself out of harm's way. Dummy comes in actually with the dart to take down 700, and Seagull's trying to back away here. You can see the attempt from Key to keep him for the rest of his teammates is going to fail, but Dummy is caught in the heel by an Ice Spike from Key.
So they held on here, Snake. Well done by them. Key again with a great wall just to stop the retreat in there. But even a good Graviton Surge out of 700 to stop Gods from doing some serious work with that that Death Blossom being up. But he switched out over to McCree. He's looking for a little bit more extra damage. He's sitting towards the backside because Dummy, well, he's not being pressured onto. There's no Winston, there's no Genji, there's no Tracer, there's nothing to deal with the backline of NRG. And with the aim we actually see Gods have, he's going to be more than happy with this.
Going to help him with pickoffs as there as well. If Seagull gets that wall down, Gods can obviously get a little bit easier from long range, pick off that target that's isolated. Now Seagull in from the side as well. We're going to have Blizzards from both sides, but that's the Graviton Surge combining with it quite nicely. Soundberry does come out for Snake here, but it's getting chilly up for this one. All 4 of them frozen together on the point here, but the follow-up damage is not going to be there because Mengmao's already in the backline. Milo gets himself 3 all on his own. That's pretty darn impressive, but now Mengmao has to back away and desperately trying to get himself a health pack. 700 tries to stay alive, and Mengmao's knocked out the way. Milo doesn't have time for your Reaper ult. He's not impressed.
And with 40 seconds left to go, it looks like they're going to cross the finish line. 45 seconds on the board. Snake held longer than Vici Gaming did when it came to attacking here for NRG. But that's still a finish. That's a completion nonetheless, and that's still time left on the board, which is a good sign for them. But now they have to look towards the attack where they really struggle when it comes to hybrid maps, attacking, and even defending they struggle with. The last points that they've been able to do on Kingdra before, that's their playground. That's where they can really hold on and put up a good defense.
So let's talk back a little bit here, Jason, to that last little point, I guess, where Energy had to push back through. We saw God switch over towards the Reaper. Seagull, of course, still on that main, which he picked up from the sort of Wild West stage. It gives you good flexibility in positioning there as well. You don't have to wait for the elevator RNG, which is a big complaint of a lot of players on this map, by the way. Get the high ground and work their way back in. The McCree switch there for Gods, do you really find that to be, a big deal? Do you think it was just maybe a small detail there?
I think it's a big deal. I think the problem is in the game we can't see the damage he did. Like you can't see the assist he's been able to pull off, right? But the fact that him and Dummy weren't being pressured in the back, like they literally were not being attacked towards the back, so there was nothing to get there besides Mengmao dropping on top of them for the most part to really deal with them. So if you're in the back like that, getting so much free damage in, so much free healing in, you're putting a lot of extra pressure, and you don't necessarily need those 3 tanks when you have a Mei who can walk into the team to prevent damage, also act as a tank so you can heal yourself, and you still have your Zarya and your Reinhardt to be protective and to just soak a lot of damage.
Is that a problem when you do run Mei with maybe 3 tanks that you don't have the ability to dive the enemy backline or maybe deal with their Ana or something like that? Is that a limitation of the tank stack?
I think, yeah. I mean, like, well, who would be the one to go into there? You don't have anything that pairs with diving comps anymore. Like, nothing really good to pair with diving comps since you have the rise of Ana, I guess, when it comes to Nano Boost. But the problem is it's both ways, right? So you have Energy who can't get into the back line. The problem is for Snake, though, is because they're held so far back in this position, their back line becomes their front line, technically, or their middle line, right? Because you're not able to hold up as far as necessarily you need to. So both teams kind of can struggle in that situation depending on where the payload is. But now we're seeing Snake on the attack, and we're seeing no fair, but they're still sticking with the Mei on Key.
Yeah, so they got interestingly enough, they got the Ana here for Fate, and then they're going to go with the Mei and Reaper combo. So just a double tank here for the Ana involved. I mean, Energy as well. No surprise here to see triple tank Seagull on the Mei here on the defensive side. Wall comes up.
it closes off like the majority of the air, as you can see. It leaves like a small avenue, but more importantly, it's delaying as well, so it allows NRG some time to actually get set up. But that was a good sleep dart to the top.
That's big. Gods now can't get involved in this fight. That must be the starter's pistol here for Snake to try and go and make something happen here. Wall comes up, that Seagull just trying to knock them back, and now Gods has woken up and he's seen, well, a lot of easy targets from the backside here. Snake kind of forgot about Gods while they put him to bed, and now Gods able to do so much free damage from the back here, just lay it in, but that's the Earth Shatter coming in here for Pangay. What can he get? Just the charge in towards Seagull. Gods able to recover quickly enough to get the hook and get the finish there with the shotgun to the face.
Not to mention all this extra healing they're able to do. My Gods, he's missing 200 HP. If he gets to heal it himself, you're going to get Dummy to get the extra healing on top of him. And you also have the Earth Shatter for Milo. So you have an Earth Shatter, you're going to have Nano Boost into the next fight, you're going to have the Whole Hog, and even a Graviton Surge. Like, the damage that the damage NRG was able to do was focused mostly on their tanks, and they're able to build up so much ult percent from this, which is going to make them even harder to push when it comes to this next point.
Bionic Grenade comes in there from Dummy as well, and you can see maybe even Nano Boost available. Yeah, he's going to get the one going. There's probably Milo going in. Oh, it's nasty. It's going to be the Blizzard on top of the Graviton Surge here. NRG throwing the kitchen sink and the rest at Snake. A lot of ultimates being used there as well, but this is crucial time being built up by NRG. They're making Snake desperate, making them prone to making a few mistakes. But again, that's a lot of ults used.
This is something we saw during the World Cup qualifiers that we were doing out of Team Finland. Actually, it was Linkser, who was playing the Reinhardt, and all he would have to do, actually, I think it was Nox, sorry, I think it was France. Nox, all you would have to do is basically get Nano boosted, he swings away, gets an Earth Shatter, saves Earth Shatter for the next fight, and during that time of using the Earth Shatter in the next fight, it bought enough time for Nano Boost to come back up again, and that's what they did. Lilo, he used Earth Shatter in that last fight. He's at 78-80% right now already again.
Gods gets caught out trying to take control of that high ground. Now the Graviton Surge is going to come in, but Milo's shield is dutifully being kept upright and in the way. They're going to try and go for the backline and find Dummy, but 700 gets a bit bored of going for that one. He leaves Ming Mao to deal with it Anna comfortably enough, and now he comes back in and joins the rest of his team. Seagull very, very low, going to fall now. Pook's not far behind. He drops. It's going to be Enigma, the last man standing here. Can only do so much damage, and he can't even get a kill on towards Snake. Won't slow them down too much. They have 6 men on the point, and it's ticking away. This should be a comfortable take. We're going to be into the streets phase. Credit
to Milo there, especially for the fact that he's not feeding a lot of energy over to 700. You saw in that attack, when he was trying to go head-to-head against Dummy, he had 0 energy. And that's basically like one of your guaranteed ways to build up solid energy as a Zarya, is a Fire Strike. Every single time you see it, you shield yourself or shield a teammate, they get hit with it, boom, 50 energy. And they're preventing a lot of control for him, a lot of damage that he can do. And this is a really simple energy charging straight forward. Seagull with the Blizzard leads the way.
Fake gets completely wrecked there as well. It's going to be a spike towards the dome to clean him up. And now, well, it's going to be a similar fake for Zarya there as well. But interestingly enough, King and Pangay deal with the rest of... That's a bit rude. That's a bit rude.
They use their own main wall to get over the top.
Gosh, that is
and they know he's
so
dead,
rude.
but he's stalling for time here. He's going to fall. But this is about time for NRG to get back out of spawn to get onto this high ground.
Which is what they need as well. They won't get on top of the general store here, as we're going to see Ming Mao early go up there. But NRG, will they wait for the elevator? Probably not now. If Ming Mao positions himself menacingly enough towards the saloon, the roof of the saloon, I don't think NRG are going to go for it. They probably don't feel like they have the time. So
they backed off though. Gods came up the elevator and started popping some shots off onto him.
I would have too, but now the Nano Boost coming in there. That was actually on towards Enigma in that fight. He gets knocked to the ground instantly here. Milo doesn't have the Nano Boost to benefit from here, but he's still able to do a bit of damage. He will be frozen though in a moment. I think he was just inside the radius of that Blizzard, which is very, very big, of course, like 10 meters as it is now. And Gods, he's not, McCree, not super self-sufficient, often needs to be present with the rest of his team. Definitely not a 1v6, or he has to back away from that fight completely. And again, Seagull just doing the deed. Again, Wall comes up here, eventually falls, doesn't elect to use the Blizzard there as well. So he hangs on to that one here. And NRG probably want to regroup for one more big fight outside of the studios here. With a few of these ults they managed to accrue over this very interesting streets phase.
Nano boosted Death Blossom. That's what we're going to see here probably out of Ming Mao. But Gods has to be quick on that flashbang to prevent him from really getting the full channel of that one off. But look at that, they have a Zarya on top of the jail. They're able to boost up 700 there to get a lot more control as well. As Mingo switch over to the Tracer, but there's the engage coming in. There's his die, and able to pick up 1 kill.
That's a miscommunication though. Ming Mao didn't want to go for that fight, but he took damage from the Tracer up above and had to commit to the fight, and that's sort of a bit of a waste of ults here. It's not quite working out for Snake, who ideally would have liked to have sat back and given Ming Mao the time to choose his engagement, but he gets threatened up top by Enigma, forced to jump down, and for some reason Fate thinks that's the opening and says, alright, let's go for it. A 60 health Rigby goes in with the Death Blossom and the Nano Boost and doesn't get much for it, just
Enigma,
the 1 kill.
If I remember correctly, he actually went up the elevator too.
Yes, that's
so
right.
it took
that's
him a lot of extra time for him to get to that position, and then it scared off Ming Mao to force him to drop down, and that's...
Wasted ults.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate for them. But they have 1:20 left, so they have some time to actually push with. Problem is, energy sitting around the point, and you can see no one has high ground control at a Snake, so they're very conscientious of what's going to be up there.
Enigma, Pulse Bomb comes in, that's going to force his opponent out of position. Fate just has to quickly sidestep that one and avoid the damage coming in. Now Enigma has to sit towards the back. It's going to be a sound barrier coming out here for Snake, and that's the only ult they're going to have to use here. No, Graviton Surge comes online. They're also going to have a Blizzard. That's perfect for Snake. A good combo. It should be good enough here, but no, from up above, it's going to be Gods descending down. Shots in towards the dome of Pungay, eventually finishing him off with the flashbang. That might be enough now. 47 seconds, and the team kill gong rings out. Snake had a lot of ultimates, but they used them just as they came up, and they didn't really have a chance to set them up. It was a key, just ulting immediately. As soon as 700 got the Graviton Surge, he just lays it down. Again, not getting much value out of these, Jason.
Problem is right now, with Snake having so little time left, they have no ability to check the high ground, to at least get control of that one before going for the next fight. So if God stayed there, there would have been really no chance for Snake to dislodge him from this position, and then boom, a Deadeye comes in, be nano boosted as well, and Snake gets wiped out here. They have no ultimates to work with. They have a Winston now that they switched over to, but what are they going to accomplish on this final attack?
Well, Milo just looking to charge up his ultimate here and getting towards the backline. Fate can't do much about it here. He's going to try and charge out. Milo actually escapes alive, and now he's going to get healed up. That's a very effective foray into the backlines of Snake, and now he's going to go for the Fire Strike here. Extra damage being put down on the direction of Pangay, sorry, and he does get picked up. Blizzard in just for good effect now, and we do go in towards the overtime. It's NRG, a strong showing here. Snake prevented from finishing the map there. A good hold in the Street's face.
Alright, so you have to wonder, how would that have played out differently if Enigma didn't catch up Migmao on the high ground, on the Reaper? If they got the attack they wanted to, they would have captured the second point. Like, they would have posted up, there was no chance.
At least that second point there.
And NRG was more than happy to stick onto the solo tank. Like, when was the last time we've had solo tank be a thing, right?
I mean, I like it though, it's because it's off the back of, well, to be fair, I think it's a bit of a confidence play again, but Enigma's Tracer there was really important. We picked up here, his Seagull as well. Just had a few interesting...
Look at that smile on his face.
The man. I mean, I just want to just, all right.